which I don't know anything about Russian, but I had to edit it. Okay, and so this is a directory. It's a blueprint of how to teach today, young kids, and you can use it for senior citizens, for teachers, for kids, for any generation. So Tina's done a great job doing that. But that's not the end. How do we make this thing profitable for teachers? Well, what should they be paid? Well, they have to be paid a lot more than they're being paid today. And how do we get that money out of a parent who is used to paying $15, $20 for a lesson, which is ridiculous. So we said, well, we have to create some incentive for them to do that. And so the first one was to apply to the director of charities in Ottawa for a license to be a registered charity. Well, what does that do? Well, it means that we can have people, especially in a small community like Niagara-on-the-Lake, if they're moving and downsizing and can't sell their piano, which is difficult to sell at any time, they can give it to us as a donation. We can give them a receipt, which is a tax receipt. And that receipt is worth almost as much as the piano's worth on a pre-tax basis. So it's very valuable to us, likely more than what they would get in the market trying to sell a piano. What can we do with a piano? Well, we can put it in studios and expand our business. We can put it in a family where a woman is at home and she can't play piano, but she wants to learn. Here's a piano that you can do. Well, that's fine, but what about the students? What are they getting out of it? Well, if you're legitimate in Canada and you're issuing a receipt for music lessons, kids up to 13 years old, their parents get a tax receipt for $500 tax credit for each student. Most schools don't provide a receipt because it's cash. So they're missing out on this advantage. The other thing is that there's a gap between 13-year-olds and 16-year-olds. Most students, so we think we should move them earlier through the system so that they graduate grade 10 before being 14, 15 and chasing girls and boys at that time. But if they're sticking to the normal pattern where they're not into grade 10 and ARCT until they're 16, 17, 18, now all of their music expenses are now going to be covered as a total deduction against their fees. So, you know, if they're paying $50 an hour, they're going to get a receipt at the end of the year for $2,500, which their parents can apply against their taxes, or they can keep and roll forward that when they start to work, they've got a credit from the government to do it. So that should essentially make their lessons free. And so we have in our website a little joke. There's a young boy from Bangladesh, and he didn't understand Tina's English, but he wants to be Prime Minister of Canada. And if you've seen the website, it's kind of funny. And so we created a Stephen Harper Award for him to give him a specific reception that we had. And his reason for wanting to be Prime Minister was to create music studios that were free. And this is what he's saying. He's about yay high. And so we took him to his word and we said, okay, we've created something that's virtually free. It's not 100% free, but on a pre-tax basis it's free. On an after-tax basis it's 50% savings. So who else has this? Now we say, okay, but who's teaching these kids? Because they're not learning the way we think they should be learning. So Tina wrote her book, and now we've started master classes to educate the teachers. The Russian teachers that have come here, a lot of them learned English in Russia, but when they get here, English as a second language doesn't deal with the technical terms of music. And so it needs somebody like Tina to work with them for a few months to get them comfortable and to move it on. So at the moment, this is where we are. We're at this very junior stage. We should have all our approvals over the next month. And at that time, we hope to start the process of legitimizing individual studios around the country. Making them not a cash business under the table, but something that that the teachers are qualified. They get lunch breaks, they have their own lunch, they have a breakout room so they get rest during, they have proper washrooms, the heat's at the proper level, and so that's our whole objective, to make life easier for the music community. And Tina's the instigator of all of that, and I just follow around behind her making it happen for her. So that's where we are.
Thank
Lots
you.
to do, lots to do.